this video we're gonna just create a socket and Express.js server, and we will connect it with Next.js, and we will create one real-time chat application with socket.io and Next.js. So for that, in my desktop directory I'm just creating a folder called socket.io Next.js, and you can give it any name and any directory you can create, and you need just a editor. I am using VS Code, so I am just creating and I'm opening this folder on VS Code now. Okay, now I am on VS Code now. So for in this project we will use ban. So ban is JavaScript runtime environment, alternative Node.js, and ban installation process is easy. So I have video, you can check it out. So just check ban -v, so it will give as version. So I have installed ban. Now we need to initialize our first ban project. Ban init -y, it will just initialize first ban project. Okay, so this is our first ban project, and in index.ts file we have just hello via ban, and now we can run the ban index.ts. okay, we are getting output from our index.ts. so first time we need to change our scripts called start. We are changing start script to ban -was and index.ts. You cannot do this with Node.js because Node.js don't have TS compiler directly, or TS compiler don't have in Node.js. That's why we are using ban and was flag. So whenever we will make changes, then we will get output. But when we are just hit this command, we are just getting output just one time, and if we make any changes, then it will be not reflected on our browser or anywhere. So that's why we are using just was flag. So if we don't use was flag, just check it out. So in this case we just give this command to start our server, ban start. Okay, we are getting, but after first time it is just server is closed, so we need again and again restart. So solve this problem, we need was flag. So whenever we made any changes and ban will wash our file, so this file, and whenever we start, just clear terminal, ban start. Now our ban server is not stopped. So this is the benefit of was flag in ban. So now we need to install some packages called, okay, I'm just waiting, expanding my terminal, and ban add express and type of express and socket.io. okay, just installing express and type of express and socket.io, and if we check in our dependencies as socket.io express and type express, you can also install it on as a dev dependency because it is for only for development purpose. Now we'll create our first express server. So just import express from express. Now const app equals to, but I am using Codium, but I am not getting any suggestion. I don't know why. I am globally. Okay, now it should work. Express. Okay, now it is working. Now we will import HTTP. So before that, we will just check our server is working or not. We are listening our server. You can give it any port. You can give it like 7000, 5000, 3000, and just check it out. Your port number is working or not, and with your firewall. So now we are opening just our browser and we'll just check HTTP localhost, and our port number is 5000. HTTP and should work. Okay, we are getting output in real time, but we can improve it by take it on const port .env port or 5000, and port will get a callback, and we can log example app is listening http :/localhost, and okay. Now on the console we can see a great output, and we don't need this terminal anymore, so we are just removing. Okay, this is our first Express app, simple Express app. Now we need to import HTTP for creating socket.io. So just const HTTP. Okay, sorry, we are using module, that's why. So we must use socket.io. Also we need to use import HTTP, and we'll take it on the top. We will give some space between them, and now we're gonna just create our socket.io server. So first we need to create this HTTP server and pass this our Express server. So in here we have just created HTTP dot, and there has a built-in method called create server, and we are just passing our Express server. Now const io is equal to new, okay, to new server. We need to use this server from socket.io, and we need to pass our HTTP server, and we can pass here some configuration. So in this case we will just use course. So you can give the which origins will be able to access your server. So in this case we are just using HTTP localhost 5000, so only client where is 5000 will be accessible our server. So without any port, if we use this server without 3000 from client, it will be not worked. So that's why we are using this, so it will work only this port. But in this case we will just use /star, and you can give just array of origins that you can allow to work this socket.io server for specific origins, or you can make it just simple origin is star, or just okay. Now we'll give some space. We don't need this, we're just removing. So this is our simple Express app, just don't need the socket.io. Okay, this is our simple Express and socket.io app. Now socket.io, so this is io, you can give it any name. So this is just our normal variable, you can give the variable name is any name. Socket.on connection, so goes on the io that has built-in method called on, and whenever the IO connection, our server or socket connection will be established, then we'll pass that the user is connected, and here we are in this callback we're getting socket, and the socket dot on event called disconnect. Whenever user will be disconnected, then the event will be called and it will be logged. So now we need to create our client. So for that, just run X create next step latest, and we are creating our next step on client directory in this folder. So that's why to create. Okay, and here we need give some configuration for our Next.js app for Y. Yes. So would you like to use TypeScript? Yes. Would you like to Slint? Yes. Tailwind CSS? Yes. And no? Yes. Turbo pack for Next.js? Okay. No. Okay, it will install a new it will create this new Next.js app. Okay, it is just created. How fast is that? Because we are using ban, that's why it is very faster. Now we are just splitting our terminal, and we will run our, sorry, not splitting, it is expanding. And now npm run sorry, use run dev. Sorry, you need to go cd client. This is our Next.js directory, and okay, our server is starting. Now we'll open our server, and on our 5000 we don't have any route, that's why it is get method is not working. Okay, this is our by default Next.js application. So now we will connect our Next.js app with socket.io. That's why we will use, first of all, we need to create inv for next public for accessible our server URL from client. We are using next public, but next production on the Vercel, and next public is not properly secured env because it is accessible on the client side. And for accessible your API URL only server, you can give it just remove next public, and you will able to access it by API URL. So just remove, just to close it. Okay, so close. So now we will just in our home page we'll just remove everything and see RFCE and giving a name just ZF. Okay, so before do this, we will initialize ShatScene UI with our Next.js project. That's why choose ShatScene CLI installation. So this is how you can initialize a single command. You can initialize it. Okay, now we are just stopping our client. Okay, we are just initializing ShatScene. Okay, maybe default neutral. Yes. Okay, we will just generate a new ShatScene. Okay, in our client directory we have just leave a new folder, and in every component from the ShatScene, that's why we use add all. So this all flag will be generate or keep all the components from our section UI. So you can just use, like, you can add a specific component called button, like add button, or anything. You can use just npx section latest add and give your component name. So here you have a lot of component, so you can just test it out. Okay, so now we will connect. Okay, first of all we need to give this command to generate all the components, and here we have a directory called components, and in components /UI directory we have all the components, and it is reusable component that we can use in everywhere in our Next.js app. So this is our server URL. We need to install ban at socket.io client. Okay, we are adding socket.io client for accessing socket.io from client side. And now okay, we need to make our component client, but you can use separate component, and your base component you can take it just server component, and by default Next.js all component is client component. So we will use effect and use state. That's why we are using use client directive and making. So for set application, React.js is best because it React is fully client. Okay, server is closed. So for in this case we need to IO from okay, it is import, not const. IO is declared but never used. Socket equal to IO, and our port number is just HTTP. Okay, sorry, process dot np dot or this or server URL. So benefit of it, when we make this any changes in here, and suppose we need to use this URL in multiple places in our app, and whenever we make any changes in here, and it is globally manageable, and just change any value and it is reflected, it will be reflected on any everywhere, you know. And we'll use cover process next public API URL. Okay, so we are using our server URL to connect socket.io, and now we will just need to use socket use effect for handling side effect and events or subscription. So for that we are using use effect. We are this use effect is imported from React, and now socket.on connect, and it is connected. Okay, we don't need we are removing, and we are just starting our server. Dev, we are starting our client server, and after that we will able to socket dot on. Okay, check our so this is course error. So maybe we have some mistake in our course configuration. So we are using this our client as server URL is different, that's why we are getting these errors. So for fixing this problem, new server, oh sorry, we need to use our server in here. So now it should work. Okay, we are now working. Now we are getting logged on the on our server, and we are connected our fast we are connected with our fast socket.io server, and we have successfully connected socket.io and Next.js. So if you give the specific origin and not localhost 3000, or you can give just hosted origin in here, and it will just this server will only work for this origin. Without it, it will just show course error on the browser. Okay, so now we will make some design here. So class name, UI just 6 ex4 minimum height screen flex jcc ic. By default, Next.js using Tailwind CSS, and there is our configuration for Tailwind. And now form. So before to this, we'll use just h1.text ec text center. Welcome to setup. Okay. We will use an input. So we are using reusable input from a chat chain, and first time message, please should enter your name, and you can use message set message. We need to keep our stored our messages in temporary use state, and we need to get name and set name. It will be just default value is string, and maybe okay, we need to keep our the single message it is also should empty, and div dot empty for dot shadow small. So maybe this is our input, and this is welcome to setup. Now we will use alt on sense. We are just whenever we send our use state, and we are getting event and event.target.value. Now use enter your message, and whenever we message sends, we are setting our message on the message use state. So where there we are setting messages, and we will get socket dot on so with our previous message we are setting this new data here, and we need to use this. We have some mistake in here. So maybe name and message. Okay. Now our type script also be happy. Remove. Okay, problem is solved, and we have some warning that we need to use these values. So I will just explain you so how it works. So before do this, we will use an const send message socket dot emit. So with emit method we can pass message, we can pass event to client to server, server to client with emit method, and from client with emit method we need use to pass value to server, not a specific client. So you can manage a specific client, you can pass a specific client for this socket on the server. So now somewhere we the button, we use button from set messages. Okay, now this is, and after that we will just render our messages. This message and message.sender. Okay, now we don't have any messages. Now we will make functionality on the server. So socket, and so in here we will use socket dot on. So we are listening, we need to listen our event. So whenever user hit the send message event, so it is just emitting this event, and you can give it any name. It is not built-in event for socket.io, and you can give it any name, like any name that you want, or you can pass dynamic value but accessible from your server. Just to make sure that message we are just listening our event. So this event means this event whenever user will send message, so this event, and so this event must be same, and we will pass socket dot emit. So and we're just passing the same message to the server. So just look at this, 3 lines of code. So we have connected with our socket.io client. We are connected and logging. So for connecting you need to using, and we are just whenever we will hit the send message button, and we are just emitting this event, and we are passing sender and the name and our message that we have stored on the same message, and name, use state, and we are getting or listening or call back our event from our server. So this is exact event what we have passed, and we will get the exact data from our client. So and again we are passing the event to the server, to the client again. So we are listening for the client, and we are passing that message to client again. So socket.on for listening an event and getting data, and socket.emit or io.emit for passing the event to client to server or server to client. So this is it. This is the socket.io, just a web code, and hello, send message. Oh, we are getting this response from our server immediately, and we are now in real time. But we were just open a new incognito, pass this, and if we use just score and hi, send message, but we are getting this message only on side, not the both side. To handle to getting message, because socket.emit is just emit to the same client who is sent the event. So socket means who is just connected and who is sending messages, and this is so this is our like a this is global, or this is our planet, and so that every socket just represent that every connected people, so every human in the world. So socket.emit, that's why, and it's whenever we will hit the socket.emit from server, and it will just emit the same event to the same client, same user who is sending this event. So for getting globally, for every whenever we will send the event, we need to get this message from every user. So that's why we can do it by socket without using socket.io, or you can just socket dot give dot, and you have a lot of event like socket.to, socket.in for in a room. You can in the next video I will show you how you can join a room, so how to send message in a specific room, or a lot of things. So in this case we will use io.emit to send message globally. So this is our global socket, and in here we have connected all the sockets in our server who is connected on our server. So now we are refreshing, and now if we send message like AOF code, and now suppose this is the two separated browser and it is not dependent each other, and suppose I am in America and my another friend is Singapore, then it is also will working. So suppose this browser, you can take it like that. Hi. Oh, so both of the site were getting the message. So how is that? Let's send the message from this site. We need to more in expand. Hello. Okay, send message. Okay, we're getting a message from both sides. So this is our one simple chat application. So whenever user clicks send message, then we are getting this event in here, and we are passing to all users, and we are just listening our this passing, accepting, and again passing to client, and we are just accepting the our response from server in real time. And with our previous message, we are just setting the new message from our server. So this is how you can just create simple Express app with socket.io, and just 3 lines of code. We are sending messages and we are listening. So here we have created server, and this is our server URL, and we are passing this on the socket.io client, and then we are just connecting with socket.io from client with socket.on connect method, connect event. And after that we have created this 3 button to input and 1 button. So this when on sense, then we are setting our message on this state and set name on this state, and whenever we will click this or hit this button, then send message will be triggered. And socket.emit, you can name this event any name, but if you give like message 5 on, just you can give it any name that you want, like a web code. And now we are just getting, so in our case, our event we have emitted, it is message called message. And so emit for the sending data, and socket.on for listening this data from client to server or server to client. So this is the core of socket.io, and we are just listening this message and we are getting the same data what we have passed from our client, and we are using io.emit. That means io is global, and there we have connected all the sockets. So this is and we are passing the message on the all of the client who is now connected with our server. So on the next video I will create I will show you how to connect, how to pass message like a specific socket ID, or how you can create just typing effects real time, like online users indicators, or when you user type in, we will show this on the both side with real time. So thank you, and please support and don't forget to subscribe and for getting this type of video, because I will clear socket.io to everybody as very simple way. So thank you so much.